Hello guys, it's me again, and after the long-awaited little pause that we had in the development for the mods, we're finally back, yay! With the Brasilia pack, which got delayed for a couple of weeks because of a very good reason, which you're gonna look in this video. Well, not look, you're gonna hear in this video. Um, so yeah, the Brasilia pack is finally out, and we're here to do the presentation video, so let's get cracking. If you're wondering what the hell is the Brasilia, I'm gonna explain it to you. The Brasilia was Volkswagen of Brazil's first attempt to replace the Beetle. Um, it failed on replacing the Beetle, but ended up being a very successful car here in Brazil, selling very, very well. It was like the Beetle was the best-selling car in Brazil. The Brasilia was the second best-selling car most of the time, and was following the Beetle very closely. So Brasilia started out development in the early '60s as an attempt, well, not early, in the late '60s as an attempt to replace the Beetle. You have to understand that Volkswagen of Brazil was the only branch of Volkswagen that was actually profitable. So they didn't want to like really change the Beetle recipe. Beetle was selling like hotcakes, and it still would go on to sell a lot in the '70s. So they ended up getting the very reliable and bulletproof Beetle platform. So Beetle front suspension, rear suspension, chassis, transmission, engine, and just making a more modern car around it using the parts that they had available. Brasilia was on sale in 1973 alongside the Chevette, which was also sold in 1973 here in Brazil. 3 years before the Chevette was released in the United States, I might add. Uh, and it sold very, very well. And in front of us, we have an example from the first month of production. Yes, month. I went to the extent to search every single change that the Brasilia had. Don't matter how minor the detail and implement on the mod. So I ended up making a version for every single year of the car, and that's why the pack is divided on two parts because the file size was massive. Anyways, and it's still not done yet. I'm gonna talk about that in the end of the video. So let's take a look around at the Brasilia. If you've seen some of my other videos, we showed our friend Marcus' Brasilia, which is in the pack. We're gonna drive that car. We showed my friend Marcus Brasilia, and I touched on about the design features of the car. So yeah, as you can see, wider car than the Beetle, even wider than the Gull. Great interior space, but still made on the bulletproof Beetle platform. For engine, we have here in the back being cooled by these cooling fins, a 1600 single carb engine for the first one. You can note the very small protection grill for the exhaust being right here. Going onto the detail that I made to actually put the Volkswagen brand on the exhaust where it would be. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, as you can see here, engine. Because the engine in Brazil is pretty much outside of the car and inside, I did model a bit of the engine just so like if you get on the very low angle, you can just see the hint of the engine there. Right, chrome mirrors, chrome door handles. First year of the car, you had the wheels with the same metal cups. Indicators here. I was able to source period correct license plates for all cars from different regions of Brazil. Going on to the inside, the classic Brasilia dash. You still have the Volkswagen Beetle steering wheel with a very interesting detail. This is the logo instead of Wolfsburg like you have in the German Volkswagen. This is the I think it's appraising the correct term for San Bernardo, which was where the Anchieta factory was for Volkswagen, which we call the Anchieta factory because it's right beside the Anchieta highway. It was the first factory that Volkswagen had in Brazil, started out in 1953, and man, it's just an amazing place. There's like a massive museum there, and it's their oldest plant in Brazil, which is still going today, and that's where the Brasilia was made, different from the Gol, which received its own factory later on in Taubaté. As you can see, the classic Volkswagen pedals. You have your pedal pump for your windscreen. Only indicator stock. Early cars, you still had to control the wipers by the button, just like a Beetle. 160 kilometer speedometer. You have your fuel gauge here. Blank gauge, you can either have a clock or a tack. Early Brazilias, they didn't have different trims. Like we talk about in the Gol had the L, the LS, the S. Brasilias didn't have that. It was just a Brasilia, and you could order them with options or not. So this car is a pretty low spec. It doesn't have a lot of options. It doesn't have the fan, doesn't have the clock or anything. Yeah, and also pretty much the options you could get for the Brasilia was like a brown interior, fan, a clock, or a tack. The tack was extremely rare. The tack is something that, as a by a request of Marcus, that he was really wanted this mod. He asked me to put the tack in like some of the variants, even though I'm pretty sure the tack was never offered by Volkswagen on these early dashes. It was an accessory. I seen some old tacks that looked like they seen a lot of use and were from the era, but I couldn't find any information about it. The clock I know existed, but the tack I can't confirm. But it is on the pack, and you're gonna see that. Some of the details that I wanted to like make to really represent the time span that this car was in production. As you can see, all of the windows, they have the old style Volkswagen Temperature window sticker for the glass. This is gonna change later on, as you know, Volkswagen bought Audi, and you had the Volkswagen Audi marks. You're gonna see that on later cars. Right, enough talking. Let's fire this baby up. Which is the reason why this mod got delayed. I posted the spoiler 2 video. It was like I was gonna release it that day, and then I was looking at some mods, and I found a mod that had an amazing air-cooled Volkswagen engine, and that's why the Brasilia is getting released now, and the Gol got an update. If you have the air-cooled Gol, it's probably already updated with the new sounds, and they sound so close to the real thing. I can't even believe it. Oh, this makes me so happy. Anyways, let's take a ride. So, beneath us, 4-speed manual, 411 gear ratios, 1600 engine, single carb. Yeah, let's take a little ride. Swing axle rear suspension. Volkswagen of Brazil only used the IRS suspension that you guys got in the United States and Europe on the variant 2 in the late 70s. So Brazilia still swing axle. We have front disc brakes, rear drums. And yeah, this is how this mod turned out so great. I'm so happy about this. So yeah, as you can see, if we look on the exterior, I was able to replicate the camber change of the swing axle. It sounds just like a real car, like in a home appliance. Here, if I grab the car with the no grabber, you can notice the rear suspension, how it opens up the camber. Yep, just like the real car. If you look at Beetles with swing axles on lifts and stuff, you're gonna notice this is just that. But yeah, Beetle suspension, so it's super soft. The Brasilia also helps. The Brasilia is a heavier car, so it helps make the suspension a lot smoother. Only problem is most of the weight that the Brasilia had over the Beetle was in glass, so the car center of gravity is a bit higher up in the Beetle. Right. It's very fun to drive this car, but let me pull over here and let's spawn the next car. because we got a lot to get through on this mod pack. Right. Next car, going on chronological order, is the 1974 version. 1974 being pretty much a carryover year. So you still had the same engine transmission, just some details got changed. So you already have the bigger exhaust grill, protecting the exhaust. And on the inside you have the new steering wheel. And in this particular model you have the clock. Same engine. Oh, it sounds so good. Right, 1975. 1975 and 1976, they're pretty much the same year. Already have some changes on this one. So 75, you already have the plastic hubcaps. You already got the red indicator lenses, which I talked about on a video on the Golf. Hold on, where's my... There we go. Instead of saying VW Brasilia, now it only says Brasilia. As you can see, one of the options that I talked about, the tan interior. This one... also, this change on the 74, the dash now has these cutouts. So, that also changed. 75 introduced the hazard warning as a mandate of the government. Now this was an obligatory item on new car. And talking about its the mechanical side of stuff, this was the first year as an option for the double carb engine. So instead of having one Solex PIC 30 carburetor, you have two Solex PDSI carburetors, which gave an extra 3 to 4 horsepower to the car. Also increased fuel economy. And this was the engine that pretty much stuck to the Brasilia for most of its life. Brasilia didn't have the variety of engines that the Golf had, being made on the platform, so always the same Miracle Boxer engine, different carburetors, but almost all of them were 1600s. We're gonna get to the odd one later on. Oh, and also, this one has a tach, which, yeah, this is the tach that I told you guys. I don't have any confirmation this was actually a factory thing. I don't think it is, but here it is. Right, 1977. This was a big year for the Brasilia, although it might not look from the outside. On the inside, there were a lot of changes. So, mechanical changes. This was a big one here. The Brasilia got a safety bar behind the bumper, and this here was to aid on the on a front end collision. The safety bar was connected to the head of the chassis, where the suspension mounts to. In theory, it would protect you more in a crash. In practice, that only makes it when you like slightly front end someone or something, your chassis bends. So a lot of owners just take that out because it also makes a lot of noise. Brasilia got a collapsible steering wheel, got various chassis and body reinforcements. The front end badge, which was a aluminum piece, is now a plastic piece with the black surround. Exterior wise, I think that's it. Interior, it got a remodeled interior. So gone was the colored key dash. Now it's a black part. Our dash is now black plastic. We got restyled gauges with the blank one here on this particular model, which is a standard version. And now you had a better differentiation of a standard and a luxury model. Still, they didn't have any version names. They were more like option packages, but you had more stuff. You could get a carpeted interior, wood grain dash, stuff like that. We're gonna get into that later. You got new seat upholstery on this one. Roof liner got a new material. Yeah, that's pretty much all the changes. Oh, and also the uh, the wipers now got like a command on the steering column instead of being a button. The suspension on this car is just a treat, man. So soft. Oh, also another thing, 1977 was the first year where the double carb engine was standard. Right, let's go on to 1978. 1978 was the first and only big body restyle for the Brasilia. So the Brasilia got new thicker bumpers, got new plastic. Oh, there's a the name in Portuguese for this is polena. I don't know the name in English, and if you know it, just you can say it. So pretty much for the bumpers of that, it got new taillights, bigger taillights inspired by Mercedes taillights. And yeah, exterior-wise, that's it. This one is a luxury version, so you have the wood grain dash, you have a carpeted interior, you got the chrome door panels, got a clock, lights up green on the facelift versions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I think in 1977 this started, and this is the new window sticker that's stuck to the newer Volkswagens up until the late 80s. You can see the Volkswagen Audi logo. Oh, there we go. Right, next car is the first official luxury version for the Brasilia. This is the LS, which stands for Luxury Super. The LS got a lot of changes. So the LS got a graphite colored headlight bezels, graphite colored wheels. These are accessories, but they were very common. It got new wing mirrors, very similar to what the Gull would have gotten. It got new integrated headrests on the seats, new seats, which were very similar to the Passat. You got the Brasilia LS badge. In 1979, the Brasilia badge that was metal became a plastic one. Got a rear window defroster. Interior, this one has the tack, which again, I don't know if it's actually came from factory, but I'm pretty sure there was an accessory for it. Carpeted interior, you have this new center console. Oh, and also this was removed in the 76 version. There's no more choke since the double carburetors, they have an electric choke. Here's the button for the rear window defroster, and there's no more hazard button because the hazard was moved to this little stick on the steering column. This here has to be one of my favorites for the in the back. Right, now on to the biggest interior facelift the Brasilia ever had, 1980. Will I get the standard or... Oh no, I will get the 1300. Oh no, actually no, the 1300 is an 81. Yeah, let's get the standard. Oh, no, actually, no. Standard's an 81 too. Yeah, no, we're going the LS then. Right, 1980 LS. Good one. We're gonna compare to a 79 LS. So exterior, pretty much the same thing. The wheels aren't graphite anymore. Biggest changes on the interior. Oh yeah. Uh, this is one of my biggest gripes with Volkswagen. The Gol got a dash that was based on the Variant 2 from the late 70s, while the Brasilia, which was the car that was going out of production, got this dash. This dash, which is like way closer to what the Audis had in Germany. Can't have everything, I guess. So yeah, completely new remodeled dash. The rest of the interior is pretty much the same. This new dash was just like the Gol. It was a modular, so you can have various modules for the cluster. This one is equipped with a speedometer with trip, an econometer, and a clock. The econometer, as you know, is just a little vacuum line to the intake vacuum, so you know when you're stamping on it a lot. And one thing that I was able to do on this car, which I don't know if I'm going to update the Gol or not with it, is the working dash lights. So this one works, as you can see, high beams on, have your indicators, hazard. Yeah. You have your 1980s Brazilian motor rádio. The fire extinguisher, for some reason, was switched to the driver's side. And as you can see, fully carpeted interior. Kind of dark, but this here is a little section of carpet that was added so you wouldn't damage the door card getting in and out of the car. This one has a fan. Meanwhile, it's pretty full of optionals. Right, let's go on to 1981. And I'm so excited to show this one. So this here is the worst Brasilia ever made. Now you might ask, well, why it's the no, not the worst Brasilia ever made. So why is it the worst Brasilia ever made? Its engine. Uh, this is 1980. 1980, the Brazilian government was pushing very hard for ethanol powered cars in Brazil, and a lot of the companies were developing these cars. And Volkswagen was a bit on the rush to get these cars to the market, and the only engine they homologated to use the ethanol was the 1300 engine, the 1.3. That's not a problem on the Beetle, but on the Brasilia, which is a heavier car, the results weren't the best. Most of these were sold to fleets. Most of these over their lives received the 1.6 swap, which was literally bolt-on, so there was no reason for you to stick with the 1.3. So a lot of these cars just disappeared. But now with this mod, you can experience the horrible performance. 81, you already have the steering wheel that was used on the Gol. As you can see, this one is a very basic version. Now, the 1300, most people say was a fleet version. There was no correlation by the engine and trim. You could get an LS 1300 if you wanted. I know of one that exists, and is also a blue car with blue interior. It's a beautiful car, but yeah, 1300 Brasilia. Standard version, so still the rubber carpets, low seats with no headrests. Yeah, let's take a ride on this slow as hell car. Now, it had the lower gear ratios that the Beetle used, which was I think they're 470s? Something like that. Yeah, I am flooring it right now in third gear. It's slow. This is flooring it in second gear. And yes, that That speedometer reads correctly. I've checked. Doing the national speed limit in Brazil at the time, which is 80 right now, but again, top speed in this car is around 123 kilometers an hour, where regular Brasilia is like 130, 135. Not good. Not good. The suspension is just oh yeah. It suspends. Right. Let's stop with the mediocrity and get back to the good ones. Right. 1981 standard version. I'm not going to show this one in a lot of detail. It's pretty much the same as what you've already seen, but with the 1600 engine. One thing that you might have been noticing is the color of the dash. So it changes depending, I think, on the brand. So no, oh yeah, this here. Okay, there's a gas gauge version which has the white surrounding all the color. I think that's made by Oraza. This one is the version that is made by VDO, and there was a green and the blue version of that one for both the econometer and the fuel gauge. All right, and let's get on to the best looking car in the pack, which is the one that was driving on the spoiler video. This is a 1982 Brasilia LS, so the last year of production for the Brasilia, on a very rare and very beautiful combination, which is blue on blue. So you have a blue exterior with a blue interior. LS since 1980 getting these headrests. You have a blue headliner, which was very rare for these cars. And yeah, this one has the rev gauge. Now, this one, I know it was factory, and those rev counters go for stupid amount of money. They go for around 2,000 reais. Just to put that in perspective, you can buy a good Brasilia for 15. Yeah. Hey, let's drive this one. Man, the end result of this mod is just so good. Oops, speed bump. It's a Brasilia. Doesn't care. The Brasilia, different from the Gull, is not a car that like really instigates you to push it harder and drive it harder, and it's, man, it's just such a good cruiser. Like the sound of the engine, the way it behaves, it's kind of like a mini American V8. It has like just the low end torque. It's just a very pleasant car to just put around in. Let's walk around with the engine on. You can just hear that, just that Volkswagen, like the little valve takes, the little exhaust pops. It's just like I own one of these cars, and it's just like it's like having my engine in here. The Gull did get a sound update, and I'm gonna tell you, it sounds identical to the real car, like identical. You can get a video of the real car idling in the mod, and it sounds the same. Right, and now let's go on to the last car that's currently in the pack, which is Marcus's car. Now, there's already video of this car in real life. There's like a bunch of little details, and I think some of the part, like the fun of it of this car is like letting you guys see all the little details. So I'm gonna drive it from the exterior, not gonna drive from the interior, so you can really see like all the little details that Marcus actually put onto this car, which he actually made his own car. I gave him an original, like an OEM Brazilian, said do your car, and did an amazing job. Only thing I'm gonna say is that his car uses two Solex 40 carburetors with sports exhausts, so you have a little bit of more power to play with. The camber on the rear wheel changing. It's the only way you're gonna get this car up. Dude, this is on dirt. Okay, I'll drive from the interior. I'm not gonna comment on any of the details. You guys can have fun with that yourselves. Power! This is just like when I drove this car. Only thing is that when I drove this car, the exhaust that we had in this car was just rotten. The sound was amazing, but it gave you a headache like half an hour later. Yeah, with that beautiful scene, I think we're gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Download links for for the mods are in the description below. It's two parts though. Download both parts. There's no problem if you download only one of them. You're not gonna have all the cars. But if you want all the cars that you see on the video, download both of the mods. Okay. See you guys later, and have a wonderful day.